Can you feel it? There's change in the air. It's coming. And some things have already changed. There's a new world we're entering, and you have a role to play. Let's see if we can figure out what that might be. Welcome back to Sweet Infinity. My name is Kieran, and today I will be reading from my Wild Unknown Archetypes Oracle deck. This is a lovely little deck, quite grand in its packaging, and it is a circular deck of cards by Kim Krans. That's the artist who created this deck. The artwork is stunning and unique, watercolor, and it's based on the concept of archetypes, dreamy imagery, and just a lot of interesting philosophy that I find very useful and stimulates my intuition and imagination. So if you would like to purchase this deck, I'm going to leave some links in the description below. And also please subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet subscribed. Leave a little thumbs up if you can. And let me know if you are interested in one-on-one readings as well, because I do those as well. Okay, so let's pick a card or several cards that have to do with your role in the upcoming changes in the world and in your life around you, because the changes are already here. And I think a lot of us have been feeling that. And I believe that you have a role to play in all of those changes. The Offering. That's the first card that came up. So I'm going to read from the book because there are some very unique ways to interpret these cards, and then I will do my own interpretation on them. The Offering is the first card that came up, and then we've got two other cards that came up here. There's the Mirror and the Vessel. Fascinating. Move these up so you can see them. The Mirror and the Vessel and the Offering. So let's read from the book first what the artist meant by the artwork that they made. The Offering. The gift, the present, the sacrifice. Unlike many of the other cards in the deck, the Offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. As you may have guessed, it is a time for something to be given and given up. For the sake of the bigger picture, if nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you will feel attachment and hesitancy. You will make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. Imagine for a moment if you were to offer your whole self unconditionally to the world. For now, start small. Some of the keywords are generosity, donation, volunteering. And other things that are on this page is if there's a gift you've been thinking of giving someone special, now is the time. So that's the Offering. It's about giving something for the greater good and offering for something that is even better than what you're giving up. We'll come back to that too. The Mirror is the next card that came up. Let's read about the mirror. The reflection, the illusion, the looking glass. We look into mirrors every day without recognizing them as portals into another realm. They can shatter, flatter, distort, reflect, and project an image back to us that we deem to be true. The energy of the mirror is all about self-perception. When the archetype of the mirror appears, we are in the mythic land of Narcissus, who saw himself reflected in a pool and fell in love with his own image, so compelled by his reflection he could not turn away, a fixation that eventually led to his death. Recognize the power and danger of the mirror. It is a construct, one that may drive a shard between you and your true self. The mirror contains trickster energy. Put the phone down, stop with the comparisons, and let the mirror stand empty for a while. Rest with the one inside. Keywords: witnessing the deeper self and pure awareness. And it also says, for further reflections, read the poem I Am Not I by Juan Jimenez and Yoko Ono's Mirror piece in Grapefruit. The Mirror. Interesting. The power and danger of the mirror. Next we have the vessel. The vessel, the body, the container, the cup. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full, or perhaps there is no vessel at all, and the contents spill in every direction. It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. Is it time for you to build, or break, or repair? You must find out. Keyword: stable, strong, graceful. The mentor and the healer must pay particular attention to this archetypal form. Healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. The question that we began this reading with was, what is your role in the upcoming changes in the world around you? And what we got is something about the offering, the mirror, and the vessel. And what I'm getting out of this is that part of the change that's required of you in order for you to adapt and integrate in the new world that's coming up so that you can have a better life, a happier life, is for you to give up something that you see in the mirror. Give up something that you have held on to as a source of your identity, a part of yourself that you thought you saw in the mirror. Because the mirror, if you notice, mirror reflects back to you, and we assume that what we see in the mirror is us. However, the mirror always shows you the world in the opposite direction. In the mirror, your face is reflected, but it's always opposite from reality. So in the mirror, you're actually seeing the opposite of your actual face. Left is right, right is left. And that is why if you hold up something that has text in front of a mirror, you can't read it in the mirror because it's reflected mirror image. That's what it's called. So in a way, we are seeing the mirror and we are assuming that we're seeing reality, our real self in the mirror, but we are only seeing an approximation of reality. And in fact, in some cases, we're seeing the exact opposite of what's there, opposed, flipped over. And yet we have to give the mirror a chance because we want to look a certain way. We want to brush our teeth. We want to do our grooming. And then there's other mirrors too. There's a show called The Black Mirror, which talks about cell phones. Basically, it's about the technology that we all live with now, devices, computers, cell phones, tablets, iPads, and how when it's turned off, it's a black mirror because you can see a reflection in it, but it's black. So that whole show is based on the perils of technology. And in here, what I'm seeing is that you are being asked to give up, to offer for the greater good, something to do with how you see yourself in a mirror. And it doesn't have to be the mirror that you see yourself in when you're brushing your teeth or fixing your hair. It could be the mirror of your devices, something that you have been doing online. You need to give up. That's what's going to bring you into alignment with what is your role in this world. And then the vessel card comes up, and this is about the vessel which holds everything. A vessel is any object that holds things. So it could be, as the description said, a bowl that holds food, the body that holds your organs, a house that holds a family. Anything that holds something else is a vessel. So we see that you are being asked to offer up something about what you are seeing in the mirror, whether it's maybe you've just been online too much time online, too much scrolling, too much posting on one kind of website or another, following the news, getting addicted to some kind of content, whether it's toxic content that's very damaging to you, or even if it's not overtly damaging, there's a toxicity there, there's an addiction that you're being asked to give up. And you're being asked to give up because your vessel needs repair. It could be your physical body is falling apart because of how much you are invested in the thing that you are being asked to give up. So whether you're spending too much time online and you're literally suffering from it, it could be strain on your hands, your body, your eyes, or it could be time management. It could be that you're dopamine starved at this point. It could be that it's affecting your other relationships, your work relationships. You're being asked to give up some aspect of what you see in the mirror. And what I'm seeing is this has something to do with the black mirror, the mirror that is in all of our devices, our phones and devices like that. Not being asked to give up your phone, but being asked to give up something that you see in your phone that is affecting your vessel. That vessel could be your family, your home, your body. Could be a lot of things. Your bank account, maybe that's being affected by something that you're doing online. And so you're being asked to give that up. These changes that are coming up, I would like to explore a little bit. What is going to be your role post change when the changes have taken effect? So this is what you're being asked to do now. And next question I want to ask is, what is your role in the world that's coming up, in the changed world that you're going to find yourself in? Let's pick 3 cards for that. Your role in the world that's coming up. The Pilgrim, the Stone, Kairos. So we asked the question, what is your role in the upcoming world after the changes that are taking place that we're in the middle of now? And these are the cards we got, so let's read about them. First up, the Pilgrim, the Wanderer, the Traveler, the Apprentice. For the Pilgrim, an outward journey is always an inward journey. This archetypal wanderer seeks wisdom, experience, and meaning in the farthest reaches of the globe and the deepest regions of the spirit. Others will wonder when the pilgrim will settle down and claim a more conventional life. But the pilgrim knows that the heart belongs in motion. Where there is motion, there is freedom, expansion, and growth. Responsibilities, social conventions, and logistics lull us to sleep, and soon the pilgrim becomes veiled in the slumber of the day-to-day. Yet when this archetype awakens, it rallies our sense of adventure and leads us out the door toward a new reality. With the pilgrim at your side, you will never lack courage, nor do you need every amenity. Travel light, travel soon. Your spirit needs it. Keywords: learns, grows, adapts, studies. We all have a deep longing to answer the call, to get unstuck. What are the obstacles between you and the door? Pilgrim. Next, the Stone, the eternal, the anchor, the rock. As an archetypal object, the stone holds psychic and literal weight. Its energy is one of permanence, concreteness, and reliability. The stone's ability to transform is nearly imperceptible to us, as it changes ever so slowly over countless human lifespans. A single stone may see thousands of generations come and go, therefore it contains an ancient and eternal presence. The stone is best used to anchor our wild side, so no matter how far we roam, we can always find our way back. The stone tethers us to earth, helping to ground and connect us to stillness, quiet, and peace. When this card appears, it is likely the stone is a remedy for what ails us. Humble and easily unnoticed, the power of the stone balances the frenzy of our world. Steadfast, loyal, committed, present. Next we have Kairos. Mythic time, synchronicity. We have all had the experience of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this non-linear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Time becomes a living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it is all about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing and not a moment longer. Alignment, ease in decisions, and action. The question we asked was, what is your role in the upcoming changed world that we will be experiencing and the change that has already begun? The Pilgrim, the Stone, and Kairos. What's interesting about these particular cards is that the Pilgrim is about traveling, about going on these holy journeys, sacred tours, sacred journeys. A pilgrim is someone who takes it upon themselves to go somewhere that is sacred. It's not just any kind of travel. It's a travel to a place that is sacred. It could be sacred in a religious sense. It could be sacred in a spiritual sense. It could be sacred in a sense of wanting to study a particular culture or a historical event or landmark or a natural formation. Whenever you travel in order to fulfill an inner quest or need or desire or hope, that's the archetype of the pilgrim. And yet we have the stone as well that came up. The stone is about stability, staying put, right? The stone stays in one place. The stone is literally what we call the rock. It's the stable center. It's the part that stays in one place. So how can you be a pilgrim and a stone? That's a good question, isn't it? What is the point where these two meet? What kind of pilgrim is a stone? What kind of stone is a pilgrim? Aha. There we have the third card that came up, Kairos. And this is about synchronicity. It's about the interconnectedness of everything, of life, of all happenings, of cause and effect, of everything having to do with time. Time is an entity that we construct in order to get through our daily lives. But time is not really as real as we think it is. What we consider time is based on our position on this planet and where we are in this planet. There are different time zones. The concept of time is very different in different cultures and at different time periods in history. People have structured what we call time in very different ways. Other animals don't necessarily perceive time in the same way that we do. Time is itself a mystery, basically. So how can the pilgrim and the stone come in the same reading? Let's think about that a little more. The pilgrim is not just going physically to places, although that can be a big part of the pilgrim's journey, but they're also going inside. They are traveling to realms of their own consciousness, of their own spirit. They are learning about themselves. And in fact, when you travel, when you really travel out there, you learn about yourself. You learn so much about yourself through travel. And that's where you discover the part of you that is stable, that is grounded, that is rooted. You find out that you travel the world. Let's say if you are able to travel around planet Earth, and you realize that planet Earth is itself a big, big rock. The entire planet you're on is one planet, and it's the same planet where every other human being is on, and every other human being that has ever lived has been on the same rock. Planet Earth is literally the stone. Anywhere you go, it could be that you are doing a pilgrimage to a neighborhood town that has some historic significance, or a reservation where there might be a powwow going on that you can be visiting, or a traveling exhibition of some kind, or some kind of festival. Or if you're able to go abroad to other countries, you might be able to explore other parts of the world where you might have some connections or roots where some of your ancestors might be from, or other places that are very new to you. I have traveled to places that were completely foreign to me, where I didn't speak the language, and I went alone. And those have been some of the most profound experiences of my life. I have been to Germany in this way. I've been to Cuba. I've been to China. I have been to places where I did not speak the language. And in all those places, for many of those trips, I was alone. And so I've also traveled with other people, but every time that I have been able to travel alone, it has been some of the most incredibly beautiful and profoundly evolutionary experience of my life. I have evolved as a person because of those experiences. So what I'm saying is that as you travel, you realize the part of you that is stable. You become more in touch with who you really are because you don't have your day-to-day amenities with you, the conveniences, the things that define you as you when you're at home. So you become more in touch with what you really want in life, what you really need, what you're really made of. And you might discover parts of yourself you didn't even know were there. So that's how these two are connected. So even though this is more about traveling, and it could also be, like I said, traveling internally, but even if it's about traveling out there in the world, there's still part of you that's the stone, that's the rock, your center, your groundedness, the part of you that is who you are. You become aware of who you really are when you step out of your comfort zone, when you go to a place that's unfamiliar. You discover about other people. You get out of your head. You realize that other people are having these same kind of experiences that you're having. They have the same feelings, the same fears. You learn about other cultures, the things that you thought were the only way to live. Your mind expands, your vision expands, your sense of connectedness to the whole world expands. And that's where this comes in. You become aware of the synchronicities in this world. And things happen when you travel. Amazing stories. People who travel have amazing stories to tell about where they've been, whether it's on the road or they took a flight somewhere or they backpacked through whatever place. They always have something, many beautiful things that they can share. How they learned about the interconnectedness of life, how they learned about the kindness in people's hearts, how they learned about the mistakes they made and what to do and what not to do. Even the things that might be crappy experiences can teach you a lot. Of course, try to be safe. But the question was, what are you going to be in this world coming up? And you're going to be some kind of traveler or some kind of respite and centered groundness for somebody who is traveling. And even if you are the traveler, you're going to carry that with you. And you're going to be a teacher. You're going to be showing people, pilgrims and others, whether you're the pilgrim and you're meeting other pilgrims on the road, or other people are coming and staying with you, or you are in some way involved in travel, where you are learning about how to balance the pilgrim and the stone, the groundedness, the earth itself, how to hold. Remember, we got the vessel earlier. And you know what is a vessel? Planet Earth is a vessel. You're going to be an earth angel. That's another way to put it. Somebody who represents this earth, this planet, this rock we're on, this stone that is our home, that is our vessel that we all share. And you are the pilgrim who is going to lead people to their inner groundedness, their inner stability, their inner strength. And you will do that by giving up, by offering up the limited sense of self that you have had reflected back at you. You are more than what you see in the mirror. You are more than what you see online. You are more than what you see in a mirror when you are judging yourself and criticizing yourself. You're more than that. And you can give that up and look at the world around you. Look at the vessel, the planet around you, the people around you. Travel if you can. And you will find the interconnectedness. And you will see, look at this eye. And this is the eye of looks like a cat to me. You will find the interconnectedness, and you will probably make friends with lots of cats. You will find interconnectedness when you get yourself out there. When you give up the limiting beliefs and the limiting images of yourself that you have built up, either because of the physical mirror that you look at or because of stuff that you've been into online. You can give that up. And that's what's coming up for you. You are going to be an earth angel, keeping yourself grounded, keeping others grounded, while at the same time learning about all the different ways that you can have holy and sacred journeys around the world and internally, and find ways to connect with others, including with other animals, and learn about all the interconnectedness and the way that one thing affects other things. That synchronicity If you're not familiar with the concept of synchronicity, I highly recommend looking it up. So I hope that this was helpful for you. It's a lot to think about. This is one of my favorite decks, if not my most favorite deck. It's hard to say, but if you are interested in this deck, I'm going to leave links where you can get this deck online. If you are interested in one-on-one readings, I'm also available for those. There is information in the description. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I would love to hear from you. If this reading moved you in any way, send me a comment. There are other videos. Check those out too when you get a chance. And in the meantime, and always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a sweet infinity.